Hey guys, welcome back to the No Holds Barred Network with the 100 episodes of Under the Ropes. I'm your host, as always, the EVP
Hey guys,
Giggles, the
welcome back
Heartbreak
to the
Chick,
No
the
Holds
Queen
Barred-
of the Indies, Tiffany. And I'm so excited because, of course, it only made sense for my first interview to hit the big 100 interview. My number one husband, the wrestling god, Anthony Gangone. What is going on?
Oh, I put lighting in it. I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. How are
That's
you?
probably too dark.
Damn. It looked good. We've got the blue background going on. So, how's everything
Yes,
with
I
you?
don't currently have any furniture
No
as I'm
furniture.
doing stuff in my life. So I have to sit on the floor, but it's fine.
Oh, okay. Well,
Anything for you, Tiffany?
thank you. No, like it means the world to me. It's just like I said, this was a big thing for me, the 100 episodes. Like I said, you were the first interview. Now you had to come back. A lot of people asked me this, and I've been thinking about this since episode 80. And people were like, okay, you're getting to 100. Who is going to be number 100? And it only made sense for me to have you come back. So thank you for coming back. I know, like, it's just the world to me. So, guys, if you're new to the channel, here I interview everything independent wrestling, whether it's wrestlers, promoters, behind the scenes, referees, anything independent wrestling, I got you covered. If you guys got questions, please drop them in the chat. I'm sure Anthony will be more than happy to answer all your questions. So, with that being said, I want to reminisce a little bit because it's just an important episode. And the funny thing is that not only fans were asking me about the 100 episode, wrestlers were asking me too. And every time, and you know this about me, like I always put you over. You know, like I always feel like this journey in independent wrestling, and I know you fight me all the time and you say no. But I do have these conversations with a lot of people, and I feel like because you allowed me to have you come on the podcast and let me interview you, it kind of started something. And it was funny because I followed you to promotions that I didn't know existed. I found wrestlers I didn't know about that I loved. And like, I feel like you kind of started my journey. And I know you say no, but, it's crazy because I think about like after we did the first interview, and I think about like when we met, and it was funny because I was following you. Well, I knew of you for like now it's like what 8-9 years I think it is now. So then when we finally met in person, and how everybody threw me under the bus to you. So at the No Ropes match with you and Valentina, so that was fun. So I just wanted to reminisce with that a little bit with you since everybody threw me under the bus. They were like, she loves you, man. She loves you. She loves you. So, and then I brought you Skittles, of course.
Yes, we did. Thank you for that. Well, I will. It's very difficult for me to take any compliments, but I will go against my nature and just accept it. And maybe when you discuss me, maybe not say follow, maybe more
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, okay.
follow
I
me.
don't mean it in a stalkerish way. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me
Yes.
rephrase that. All right, I
Yes.
supported. Okay, is that the best
There
word?
you go.
I think that's the best
Perfect
word.
to
I'm
support,
sorry.
yeah. No. I'm looking out for you just in case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, she supported me. She did not follow me.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I support. I've gone to like IWA. I mean, they're like again, like I said, BWF. Like, there's so many promotions that I could just like keep going off the bucket list of places again that I didn't know existed. So it's been a ride, and like I said, through these 100 episodes, like I've had people that you worked in companies. TJ Marconi is one that's been on the podcast. I mean, it's Too Good's been on the podcast. I could keep going on. JD Alpha, like a lot of people that you've worked with. So it's kind of crazy to me. So I can't thank you enough. So, and he will take all my compliments because he
I
knows that
will
they're
accept
sincere.
them
Yeah.
today, and because of me, I guess, all these companies, promoters, and wrestlers have benefited from the exposure and the great interviews and online presence. So I will also say you're welcome for that. So there you
Yeah,
go.
no.
Not you, to everybody else.
It's funny, and then the whole list of husbands became a thing, and it's still going. It's really funny how even till today that wrestlers will start and be like, "Am I on your list of husbands? Why am I not on your list of husbands?" Or "I should be number one." All the backlash that I get all the time. And now also what I do at H2O, and it seems to be a thing on my Indie Talks episodes, is I have to go to the wrestlers and ask them who their list of wives are or who their list of husbands are. So that became a thing, just so you know. So, but you blew it up because Kyle threw me under the bus in our first episode. So thank you for blowing up my list of husbands.
Yeah, and let me give some advice for anybody that wants to be on the list of husbands. You just gotta play it cool, you know. You don't wanna go up to Tiffany and say why I'm not here or here. I just played it cool the whole time, and that's why I'm number one.
And he's locked in. So it doesn't matter. You can't
Yeah,
even
I
try.
did I did fall for
You
a bit.
did for
I'm
like a
not
month.
I'm not sure if maybe you weren't, in the right state of mind. I don't know what was going on at the time, but you fixed the universe,
Yes.
and now everything's cool.
Yeah.
So
He lost
there you
all the belts. I felt like it was my fault. I put Alex Zane as number one. So, I mean, I met Alex Zane in person and I was like, oh, damn, I'm going to like screw up wrestling Twitter and just make him number one. And yeah, then like you said, the universe got all messed up, but we made it better. So it's back.
I mean, maybe it probably worked out for him. He's probably in a better place right now. But
Yeah, no, it's good luck to Ari Sterling now. Love him.
Yeah.
Such a great guy. It's so awesome. Datila is asking me, how long is my list out? You know what? I don't even know anymore. Like, let's just be real. Okay, let's take a second. Number one is the only one that's important, right? So
Yeah.
we're just
Yeah, you can't have two number ones.
exactly.
That makes 11.
Oh. Okay, so let's go into some questions. And again, you guys, if share the stream. If you got questions, drop in the chat. But I want to talk about, because I saw this on your Twitter recently, you got new gear, and my favorite gear is your gold gear. And of course, I have the pop here actually that I had Dave Cole made, and I think we talked about this on previous episodes. The pop that I had Dave Cole, and he said to me that he didn't even know that you had gold gear. So he was so excited to make this pop for me with the gold gear. Like, I think he finished it literally in like 2 days. That's how excited he was. So now you got new gear. So I want to talk about a little bit about that, because I know even other wrestlers are looking for who does your gear, you know, what is it that you're looking for in gear, what's inspired your new gear, all the fun stuff.
Well, as far as who does my gear, I'm not gonna say,
Okay.
because you can. She does. It is a she, so she does a lot of people's gear, but you will not get it from me, because I like to keep my secrets. But she's very good at what she does, if you can find her. And as far as things that inspire my gear, I would say 9 times out of 10 it's something outside of wrestling, but I do take some stuff in wrestling as well. My latest gear is kind of inspired by multiple things, so it's like Mortal Kombat and Ninja Turtles and Christian, that being the wrestler Christian Cage, and Eddie Guerrero. So yeah, it's just an all mixture of things there.
Yeah, I love it. So, and how cool was that when I showed you that I had the pop done from Dave Cole? Never mind the fact that he's an amazing person. Like, this is nuts.
Yeah, no, yeah, Dave. I've wrestled Dave a few times. We actually, side story, I wrestled him, and it was the first time I ever had a table break during a match. And I put him up on this table, and he told me that it wasn't gonna break, and the table completely snapped in half. So the promoter was not very happy with us that day, but it's his fault, so whatever. and he's just an amazing artist, and he's actually someone else. Um, he made this kind of canvas painting of me, which I had both sides of me, me in the mask and me, my face, and it was a really amazing piece that a fan actually bought and then gave it to me, and that was awesome. So shout out to him. But yeah, Dave Cole is amazing. He's an amazing person. He's a great wrestler, and I don't wrestling probably doesn't deserve a quality of person that he is, but I'm glad that he's in it, and he just came back too. So hopefully, maybe down the line, I'll see him again.
It was funny because I did that interview with him. So you guys, if you want to learn more about Dave Cole, please go back on the Under the Ropes episodes and go check that out with him. And he had dropped it then that he was actually going to come back to wrestling. So it's exciting. I seen him at Beyond, which was really, really cool. And he was on Fight Forever. Like, he's been like all over the place. So I hope one day that I can meet him in person with, never mind the fact that he made these pops for me, and also seeing my friends buying pops from him as well, custom pops. But I just wanna meet him. He's such an amazing person. So good people. We need more like that out there.
Yes, and very real. And I'm not saying this because he can get me booked someplace. He's actually a good person.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, definitely. So I notice a lot, and we'll get a little deeper into it, but you've been working a lot of new promotions. So let's like dig into like some of the promotions. Some I haven't even got a chance to get to yet, since I've been like busy, and I wish I could clone myself and support everybody. And that's the biggest issue that I have as a fan is I love everybody and I want to support, and it's so hard that a bunch of shows run on the same day. So let's talk about some of the new promotions that you've been at lately. I know GSW has been a promotion that you've been working at a lot. So tell us a little bit about that one.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of came out of nowhere, this promotion. And I believe the first time I worked there was sometime in the early spring. And it just came out of nowhere. And then, kind of, I felt like the taping that they had that day was more of like maybe to see what else is out there that's not on TV in some capacity. And luckily for me, I was able, I guess, to impress. And they've used me ever since. And it's really an interesting promotion in many ways. They have high production values as far as when it comes to independent wrestling. They book a lot of people that maybe other places would not normally book due to various things, pricing, location, things of that nature. But yeah, it's definitely an up-and-coming spot that looks to be extremely promising in the development of this independent surge, I guess, that's going to come out after this pandemic is completely over. So
Yeah. And that's at the Monster Factory, am I right over there?
They've had tapings there, but they're at the wherever Pro Wrestling Magic does their shows. I believe that's where the next set of shows are, and they have a 2-day event in August. I believe it's the 20th and 21st. I believe in the same location, and it's a big, like, huge show. There's like, I believe Davey Richardson's in there. Myself and Mike Donovan, who was involved, he was part of the Unwanted. We're going up against Alexander Hammerstone and Richard Holiday from MLW, so that should be quite the opportunity. And I'm looking forward to facing such tall men because it just makes me want to hit them even harder.
Awesome. I gotta make my way over there again. Like it's crazy. It's hard. Million of promotions. I try to get to everywhere. So I want to talk about another promotion that I'm very familiar with. I've done backstage stuff, and I'm actually going to be going there August 7th. So IWA, very close to my heart. Love it over there. So I missed the last one. I didn't go because I was in Atlantic City at GCW, but I still follow the storylines of what goes on. And I mean, you and TJ Marconi have this crazy, crazy history for years, not just IWA, BWF. You guys tag together at other promotions. So you have years and years of history. But like, I saw you and Valentina showed up. You weren't ones to mess with. Never mind the fact of you lost your title, which I'm very pissed about because he didn't get pinned. Okay, so I'm kind of pissed about it. But you have your title shot coming up, so let's talk about that.
Yeah, so it's August 7th, and TJ and I have known each other for the past, I guess, 6 years, and we started really to get to know each other when we were in Beyond Wrestling as part of the Crusade for Change with the Minutemen and Darius Carter, of course. And ever since then, we've teamed, we've faced, but this is definitely the most serious issue that we've had. And he took my title. I never got pinned or anything like that. He just happened to beat the other person, which was Mantis. And for some reason, I was told that I had to be in like the scramble match. Now, normally I wouldn't care about whatever match I'm in. I'm just going to show out regardless. But this one was different because I never got pinned. I was a pandemic champion. And all of a sudden, I had to go back to the first match when there was no reason for that. So when it comes to this match, I want my title back because it's not only that title. All the titles are on the line right now. TJ has 4 of them. And I want all of them. And honestly, between how TJ is now, he's a different person than who he was like 6 years ago. This man is, he lets his anger control him, and he speaks in a certain way as if he's like entitled to things and all that, and I don't think he is. And I also think that he constantly feels that he's better than me when he really isn't. So I have a lot to prove that day. I also have a lot to cement with TJ, is that I am better than him. And hopefully, when I hit him a couple times across the head, that he'll calm down on social media and realize that he should really enjoy his life, just, being below me.
There you have it, man. Jackie's in the chat. She goes, Tiffany out here advocating he didn't get pinned. No, he didn't get pinned, Jackie. I was there. And it's nice because Jackie's actually going to come with me to the August 7th show. And she's never been to IWA. And I think that's her first indie show. Am I correct, Jackie? Let me know in the chat. So and then I told her that some of the people she should know because of the Under the Rope series, and of course she knows about you. So I'm really excited that she's finally going to come experience IWA, and then she gets to see you in person. So I'm really looking forward to that. Great Harry Barnett is in the chat. He goes, congratulations on 100 episode. Who doesn't love Anthony? Absolutely.
Yes. Well, actually, maybe you shouldn't ask that. Who doesn't love me? So, yes. But I'm at Valentina and Tiffany will vouch for me. I'm actually a pretty decent person. So
yes. I always say, I always put good people on my podcast. So, and I will always vouch for Anthony. So that's one thing. All right, so I want to talk about WrestleLab. I'm kind of sad because I had bought a ticket, I think, before the pandemic, and I was going to come. And I want to get to one of these shows as well because I hear great things about WrestleLab. But you were part of the Polyon cult. And now you have a title shot with MV Young. So I started seeing all the videos with that as well. And what is going on?
Well, it's pretty simple. Last year, right when the pandemic started, I was owed a title shot. At the time, Mr. Grimm was the champion. We were going to be the main event of whatever that show was called. I think it was happening in March of 2020. And then the pandemic happened. And then Mr. Grimm lost the title. They had like various kind of title matches. I don't believe that Wrestlers Lab did anything during that time. And various title matches, but everybody else seemed to get a title shot but me when I originally was supposed to get the title shot. Then they had their season on independent wrestling TV. And I also did not get a title shot. I mean, Mr. Grimm got a title shot, and then O'Shea got a title shot. I did not get a title shot, and I just don't think that's very fair, especially for a company that talks about fairness and all that, and then somehow I get, I fall between the cracks, which does not sit well with me. So I kind of, as usual, have to take things into my own hands and get my title shot that I earned and deserve and been ignored in getting. So as far as MV Young, in all honesty, MV Young as a human being is actually a pretty decent human being, and I've seen that with my own 2 eyes and 2 ears. With that being said, when it comes to wrestling, he's not on my level. I know everybody wants to pretend that he is, and I know that he doesn't truly believe that, even though he likes to call me the typical indie thing of like a pussy and all that. I'm not sure if I can curse
You're
on
good.
this, but
Don't worry,
I did
you're
it
good.
anyway. The typical, oh, he's a pussy thing, when I'm far from that. So MV Young, I'm in this kind of polyam cult, 3 stages of hell, whatever the hell he wants to call it, and I have at least 2 opportunities to beat him in that match, and I'm looking for the complete sweep so we don't have to go to the 3rd one. But just so happens, if we do go to the 3rd one, I believe it's some kind of hardcore stipulation, and yes, I can do arm drags, and I can lock up, and I can put on submissions, but I can also get hardcore when I need to, and there is no way that I am not walking out as the Wrestlers Lab's champion, even if maybe their fans or the company or the higher-ups or the staff wouldn't want to see that. But it's going to happen anyway. So
He needs to be dripping in gold again. Seriously. And this is something I've always said. And I love those photos when you have like all the belts on you. Like, it's such a cool photo to see. And I've always been able to get great photos of you when like you win a belt, or even at Full Faith Wrestling when you won the tag team belts and IWA. So Datiel is in chat. She goes, "It's messed up Anthony didn't get a title shot." But he's got his title shot.
I agree, and I finally got it after a year and a half. So I'm looking, I'm not looking to not win the title, because if I win that title, it's guaranteed that I'll be on every show. They have to advertise me. As of right now, I'm still looking for a sponsor for the show. So if anybody here wants to sponsor me and be on an entire season of Wrestlers Lab, please, I guess, go DM them for that information. But it would be greatly appreciated. And you'll be sponsoring the future Wrestlers Lab champion.
There you go. Do it. Do it now. Go send the Twitter DM. Go do it. It's for a good cause. Great Harry Barnett says, "I can vouch for you too. You've always been good to me whenever we've talked. Shame the mailman isn't as cool and broke the Funko Pop."
Yes. Harry did make me a Funko Pop along with Valentina. And
yeah.
Unfortunately, it was, I wouldn't say completely destroyed, but I had to do some of my own assembly when it came to that. So hopefully next time, I believe Harry said that he was going to do another one. Hopefully it stays intact this time.
Shame the mailman, man. Shame. Where's Kyle's shame bell? I need it. I need to get a shame bell. So we'll just say that I did that. Oh, there was something also that I wanted to bring up at IWA. And again, if you guys aren't following Anthony on social, get on it. All the links are in the description below. But you're always in your Instagram stories. And I've always been a part of like adding to like a lot of your questions through the years that I know you. But I noticed you said something. You said that IWA might be your last single indie match on Instagram. So What's that about? Do I get a sneak peek about that,
I,
or
I believe I said that it could be the last time me and TJ wrestle on the Indies.
okay?
That's what I said. I didn't say that I wasn't gonna wrestle. That was my last time on the Indies
Okay.
wrestling. So take that for whatever
Okay, we'll
it
go.
is.
We'll go
Yes.
with that. So we got some fan tweets. Good cop, bad cop said, "With Anthony Gangone being an anagram of Hootney Gang, which other wrestlers would you be in your Hootney Gang?" He loves to mess with everybody. Every episode. I
What is
don't
that?
know.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what is the Hootenanny Gang. Like, I don't.
I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know what that is. If it's a good thing.
I think it's a good thing. So I
I
think
I
it's
think
a fun
it'd
thing.
be like Valentina. I guess would be Tiffany, and I guess I don't really care for anybody else. So there you go. If it's a bad thing, I can list a
No, let's
few
not.
people that I would like to be in that.
No, let's
But I
not
guess
do
we'll
that.
just leave it at that.
We're not gonna do that. We're doing celebratory of 100 episodes. We're gonna stay in the good graces over there. So okay, so we got a fan tweet from April. She said, "Since there's so many up and coming stars shining through the indies, who's been catching your eye?"
Hmm. Well, let me see. Well, first, let me say happy belated birthday to April. I know it was a few days ago.
Yeah.
As far as I don't. These questions are somewhat always like hard to answer.
Hmm.
I'll try my best, but I feel like most of them kind of have some sort of exposure at this point.
Hmm.
But I think I liked my match with Killian McMurphy when we had it at Catalyst,
Hmm.
and like Killian, and I think his Big Dust is his manager,
Hmm.
but he's kind of found his way, and is a lot of people are into what he's doing right now, so that's always great to see. Erica Lee's is someone that's you know all over the place now, and so that's two people that I've noticed.
Hmm.
I think one person that I believe one day will be bigger star than he is now, but I think Griffin McCoy.
Yeah.
I think just now he started being used at GCW, but
Hmm.
Griffin McCoy is also a great member of the Young, Dumb, and Broke faction,
Yeah.
and I feel like he doesn't get as much play as the rest of them, and hopefully that changes. But I guess as far as people that don't get the exposure that they need, I guess it'd be Griffin McCoy right now.
He's so great. I saw him this weekend at NFW. Him and Charlie Tiger. Like, I feel like now, like you said, like I think they're starting to get out there more on their own, which is great because now I'm starting to see them more at different promotions, and they just had like a banger of a match also at GCW for 4th of July weekend, which was great. Just so you know, TJ's in the chat. He wants to know what's so funny. He goes, he's got a better shot of being 6'2" than you taking the belt.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean, he's said the same stuff for 6 years at this point. I would figure at this point he would get some new material, but I guess he hasn't. But this is the typical way that TJ is.
That Awesome's in the chat. He goes, Gangone, what's up? And Good Cop Bad Cop says, just got back from lacrosse practice, so couldn't type while driving. Hootenanny is an informal gathering with folk music and sometimes dancing, so it's definitely a good thing.
Okay, I guess I'll be doing that. Do I wear Lederhosen and all that? The little like Peter Pan hat too, or what's up with that?
TJ said you look like a hobo.
Yeah, well, I mean that's gonna be really embarrassing when this hobo takes the title. So,
Ooh.
I mean, don't you have people to yell at on Facebook right now? I don't know why you're part of this chat. So, just stop trying to take over my time and let Tiffany do what she needs to do. And Tiffany, I would suggest you just ignore everything he says. That's what I do on.
Okay, we're gonna move forward because there's a bunch of fan tweets. So we have another one from Chris. He goes, "What are your go-to matches to watch when you have downtime?"
Uh, I think one is Mind Games, Shawn Michaels versus Mankind. I love that match. Are we talking about just any match? Or are we talking about indie matches or what?
And you know what? Let's do any match.
Any match.
Any
Okay.
match, yeah.
I really love from Rising Above Nigel McGuinness versus Austin Aries. That's what got me into independent wrestling. Let's see. Anything else? I love Monsters Ball from 2005. For no reason, it's just fun. They had like Sabu and Jeff Hardy and Abyss and Raven, I want to say. Or Rhino. It was Rhino.
No.
So there you go. Yeah, so those three matches, I guess, for various reasons, whether it's entertainment, studying, or having fun, or kind of matches that pop out to me right now.
Awesome. Matt Awesome says, are you ready for MV Young?
Yes. Is MV ready for me?
Yeah,
MV doesn't wrestle wrestlers like me.
That's really the question. So,
that's
more the question. Is he ready for
Maybe
him?
Matt Awesome should go ask MV Young that. Maybe he should go on Twitter, ask MV Young if he's ready for me.
Ooh. Well, there you have it. Conrad from Everything Pro Wrestling, he goes, what inspires your innovation offense in pro wrestling?
I have to be different from the next person. So I have to figure out different ways to do different things. As far as maybe where I might get an idea from, it's mostly like entertainment that's not wrestling. Nowadays, maybe in the past I've gotten ideas from wrestling, but now it's mostly like things I see in movies, TV, stuff like that.
Yeah, I definitely see that, and I see it with a lot of your in-ring work. I can vouch for that. I've been at a lot of shows that I've seen, and the different types of like things, whoever he wrestles, it's just like I love seeing whether you're wrestling someone who's high flyer or mat or like hard hitting, whatever the situation is. I love how you can adapt to whatever, and it's not the same wrestling style every match. So
yeah, I mean that's something that I pride myself on, is to be a hybrid and be able to adapt, because I don't know if I'm like the greatest at any one thing. I feel like I'm pretty good at everything. And I think as a combined kind of thing, that's makes me great in a lot of ways. So I'll never be like a great high flyer like Mark Quinn or Isaiah Cassidy, but I can do some stuff in the air. And what really, whatever the opponent does, I kind of figure out what's their strategy and try to move around that to better benefit me.
And I still love the move that you named Kiss from K. Like, so awesome, that move. I love it.
Yeah, no, that one was actually, I asked Nicholas K, who's a wrestler in the New Jersey area, and he worked in Beyond for the longest time. He might have done some Beyond shots recently as well, because I know they brought back a few people. But yeah, I asked him for that move, and he was graciously did give it to me. And I thought a better name for it would be A Kiss from K, since it plays off his last name and that jewelry company.
It's so awesome. I just like, when I saw it, I was like, oh, I need to know the name of this move. I was like, it's so cool. And it was a while before you named this move. And I kept asking you, I was like, did you name it yet? Did you name it yet? Because it's just an interesting move that I enjoy. And everybody knows I'm obsessed with bridges. And now like more people are playing into it now, just so you know, because of the fact that you have like one of the best bridges that I have. I'm sorry, but Yuta probably now has one of the best bridges that I've seen, like between his neck going all the way back and the toes. And that's what I always said about Anthony, was that because of the fact toes, and it's not a good bridge unless you're going on your damn toes. And now Matt Vertigo, I just saw this weekend, and I told him he had to give me a bridge because of Pro Wrestling Magic. He's like, Tiff, I know you like bridges. And he gave me a bridge, but he knows it wasn't that good unless it went on the toes. And he went on the toes for me this weekend, and I marked out. So I just thought it was a great thing. Let me read some of these comments in the chat. Chris McMillan says, enjoy Gangone, but he's going to eat some boots soon.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna happen. Okay, next.
Rob Williams from Bob Culture Podcast. He says faves, and he said Gangone, only guy I know to have match of the night twice in one night.
Yeah, I mean, for some reason, recently people have asked me to wrestle multiple times in one night, so I always try to be better than the last one. So I mean, sometimes it works out. In his opinion, I've had match of the night twice, so yeah, thank you, Rob.
There you go. Good Cop, Bad Cop says, wish I'd been at Maryland Championship Wrestling when Anthony was wrestling in New York, New Jersey. Is a long way from me. So you got to fly out.
Yeah, I did the Shamrock Cup like 2 years ago, and that's a pretty huge deal. I mean, as far as the independent world, the Shamrock Cup was or is very important to this East Coast. So I was very honored to be asked that. They've had guys win it. I think Leo Rush has won it, or he was in the finals with Tommaso Ciampa. I remember that was like a huge deal. So yeah, but I mean, hopefully I'll come closer to you than you having to come up to me. That's the goal.
That awesome said, the night I decided to start training was the night you faced Johnny Gargano. Great match. I'm still sad that I didn't see this full match. I know.
No, it's fine. No one did.
I know.
I kept asking for it for like 2 years, and they just lied to me the entire time. And I never got to see the match, but luckily for, when Matt was a fan of, prior to becoming a wrestler, and a few other people, they did record parts of it. So I am grateful for that, because that match did happen. And yeah, it was very emotional for me, because it was like that was like one of the days that the crowd was like super into the match. Like it was like Gangone Gargano chants.
Yeah.
And it was like, it's always, if that happens in one of my matches, it's organic. Like I don't have many friends, and they don't come to wrestling. My family really doesn't come to wrestling, so it's always that's something I always pride myself on, and I wish that more people in power would realize that it's about the fans, not necessarily who's in the back, and crowd reaction should be the number one thing. And also that was like 2 days before I was in the hospital for a very serious thing, and then I wouldn't say I was fully recovered from that, so it was really cool to have that kind of match with Gargano. And he's an incredible wrestler, and he's an incredible person as well, especially at that time. He was doing WWE stuff, so there was no reason for him to give that type of match that he did, but he did. And he doesn't know this, obviously, but I really appreciate that.
That's awesome. I saw some of the clips that Matt has little footage in his phone, because I know Rob's asking for it in the chat. Yeah, so Matt has a little bit of the footage for that, if you want to see that. And just so you know, I know you told me don't say anything. TJ's talking more trash in the chat against you, so... So I'll move on from that. So another fan tweet, kayfabe commentary, said, dream match on WrestleCon Super Show or in Mania Weekend in Texas 2022.
I don't know. I'm not really into dream matches. So whomever, that's my dream match.
Okay.
Bacon is my dream match.
That person A versus person B. Okay, cool. I also want to talk about Earl Gardner, because his photography is amazing. And I went to my best friend Brad's house, and he has Earl's books, and I was flipping through it, and of course I see you and Matt Tremont in the death match, and I just thought this was such a cool concept. And Earl's coming on next week, guys, so we could talk to him more. If you guys got questions, leave them on Twitter for him. But that's like one of the best things that I saw, is like all these photographers work so hard for the wrestling scene. And I love seeing these photos. And for Earl to put this all into a book, but how cool was that for you to even see? Like, I don't know, did you see that before I posted and tagged you on it, or?
I didn't see the actual pages, but I was asked by Earl beforehand for like a quote and all that. But I'm glad that you were able to show me. But yeah, that match was cool for me because I respect Matt a lot for how he does what he does. And he's, a lot of people just see him as a deathmatch wrestler, but I see him way more than that. I mean, he's able to speak, and he has this connection to the crowd that is just like, you don't have that with everyday, Joe Schmo kind of wrestler. And Matt has this connection to the crowd to the point, he's built his own thing. He has his own students, and the crowd he has are very loyal to him and love his students and love what he does. So that's an incredible feat that 99% of the wrestlers, probably lump myself in that as well, wouldn't be able to do. But Matt has that special gift. And Earl, his pictures are great. There's so many people that do so much for wrestling as far as photography that don't really get noticed. Even, people that just set up things or the lights or whatever. And those people deserve as much credit as the wrestlers. Yes, they're not taking bumps, but they're helping to create the show or showcase us or expose us more on social media with their pictures or whatever the case is. And, there's tons of great photographers besides Earl.
Oh, yeah.
I know that I was I know Limitless did like a book as well, I guess kind of like showing off their past 5 years of being in business or whatever it was. And I know that I was also featured in that alongside like Private Party because we were working there relatively often in the past. So that was cool. But yeah, there's so many great photographers.
Yeah.
Sophia's one of them as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
They're really, and you're right, everybody's important to the wrestling scene. And I've been, I feel honored that I've been able to work a lot of backstage and do interviews, and Matt Tremont's been a godsend. I love Matt Tremont to death. His students are incredible. I know you and me talked about this in person, that I love his students, and Matt is such an amazing person and respected by everybody. But it's true, everybody's important. I watch them bust their ass backstage and even at other promotions, what people do. So you guys are all important. So I can't thank you guys enough for everything of giving us the entertainment on all factors of independent wrestling. So Datila says, I know you did one show in Cali. Would you ever come back to Cali for a show?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. But I think they're even stricter over there than they were in New York. So I don't know when exactly that would be. But I definitely would be there. I just did a show maybe a month and a half ago in Florida as well for Grind Time, and that was a great experience. So I mean that's the goal as far as independent wrestling, is just to be more out there in different places besides the tri-state.
Chris in chat, he goes, what's your go-to song to pump up before your match or in general?
I don't have one. I don't really listen to music, so I don't know. Groove is in the heart.
Okay, so I have another fan tweet from Good Guy Dave. He goes, if someone made a movie about you, who would you want it to be? Who would you want to be in it and star as you?
I guess that would be, I mean, the obvious answer would be like Joaquin Phoenix. I think that is the most obvious and probably accurate answer. Maybe in like an action movie, maybe like John Berthel or something.
Okay. All right. So let's give us an update. What's going on with Just Chillin' Network?
Yeah, I mean, we have that's a horror podcast that I do with a bunch of people, including Valentina. As far as everybody else, Jimmy J's in it as well. He's kind of in wrestling as well. But everybody else is more, trends outside of wrestling. And yeah, we're doing pretty well. We do a weekly show. It's called Just Chillin' and Killin' Podcast. And my sister as well does a podcast there where she talks about like superhero movies and stuff like that. We also have a Patreon. There's a Patreon exclusive podcast there for just $1 a month. You get like 4 different podcasts, and they talk about more obscure like horror movies. And we'll be doing like the HorrorCon in September at the Showboat Hotel. I believe it's September 3rd and 4th. It's a Friday or maybe it's a Saturday, Sunday. I don't remember. It's probably a Saturday, Sunday. And we'll be there. There's a whole bunch of like horror people as well. I know originally Danielle Harris was going to be there. She was in Halloween 4. She's the kid in Halloween 4. There's the people from Terrifier and Terrifier 2. That's with Art the Clown. But if you're a horror fan, I mean, go check that out if you can. Go to the convention. I find horror conventions and horror-related things are the most, like, fun things to do for me because it's, like, such a niche audience, which wrestling is as well. But it's, like, you know, it's nice to see, like, they talk about these, like, really, really obscure horror films, and it's kind of fun to do. But I guess you can do that with wrestling with like these small independent shows and stuff. So they're both fun. Maybe I spoke too soon on that. I didn't think that all out, but they're both fun and two sides of my hobbies and or careers that I really enjoy. So.
Yeah, they're fun. I've gone with Brad to a couple in New Jersey. I can't think. Oh man, off the top of Brad's not in the chat, so I forgot like the name that we used to go to. But it's fun because you get to meet people, you get to buy movies and merch and all that. So definitely a good time. Your sister ripped my heart when she like destroyed the Nightmare Before Christmas episode. Just so you know, like she really destroyed my heart.
She does that a lot. I think it's almost as if she knows I love it, so she was like even harder on it just to mess with me.
I was like, oh my god, like wow. So I'm gonna go into one final question. If you guys have any other questions, drop them in the chat. So we've kept a lot of time for Anthony. I know he's busy, but so you know, it's been a rough year. We had a pandemic, like we said, obviously. Is there any goals that you'd like to achieve within the next year?
Yeah, it's just to get on to the next level, whatever that means to me. So that's it. Okay,
whatever it is. So so let's talk about really quickly about the upcoming shows. I have some posters here for you guys. So obviously August 7th, we have IWA. There's still tickets available if you guys can get down there. I'll be there, causing havoc as always. So you and TJ, you better walk out with some gold. I'm just saying, so we drip in gold. So, and then what else? July 17th, got the Titan show, right? American Spirit. So you guys, I think there's still tickets available for that. That's actually Saturday. So guys, go check that out. And Wrestle Lab. So I have these posters for you guys. Definitely check it out. Are some of these shows, I know IWA goes on YouTube, and Titan, where's Titan air on? YouTube too?
I think they only do Facebook.
Oh, okay.
I'm not. I'm pretty sure they only do Facebook. I think they put matches out here and there. I know Wrestlers Lab does independent wrestling TV. Of course, I have another big show with Global Syndicate Wrestling as well. That's a 2-day event in August with a bunch of names like Davey Richards, Hammerstone, Richard Holiday. I think Austin Aries is on there as well. So, a lot of exciting things to look forward to. And hopefully this is the start of more regular wrestling, as we hopefully wind down from this pandemic and go in the right direction.
Yeah, Yeah, we definitely been. It's back. It's definitely back because my heart's been torn between all the promotions that's back, and everybody's like, "You're coming to the show, right?" I feel bad. So if you don't see me, I'm sorry, but I promise you, I'll be at the August 7th show. I'll be there, like I said, with my friend Jackie. So guys, check it out, definitely. So tell everybody where they can find you on social again, where they can follow you and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at Anthony Gangone. I have no idea if I'm a good tweeter. Uh, but yeah, you can follow me there. You can follow me on Instagram. I'm a bit more lively on there at Anthony Gangone _. I'm also on Facebook at Anthony Gangone, and all that stuff is mostly like wrestling related and like a portfolio of art. I don't necessarily talk about real life things or real life events and things of that nature. Every once in a while, like recently, I just tweeted out about Three's Company, the sitcom, how Suzanne Summers deserved to be paid the same as the men. But yeah, so that you can follow me on all that stuff.
Go give him some love. Go follow some of his matches. If you missed the other episodes that I've had with him, go back on the network and watch that as well. So always a good time. Anthony, thank you. Like, again, you mean the world to me more than you probably know. And again, like I said, everybody that I talk to about you says wonderful things to me about you. And I'll always tell you that I'm always going to be selfish and I don't want you to get signed so I can still follow you. Well, excuse me, support you in the indies. Sorry, in the indies. And then you go mainstream, and then I just become a back burner. Like, yeah, she's probably up in section 300. Who? Tiffany? Who? Like.
Well, if that does happen, well, one, the only mainstream thing about me would be the money I'll be getting, and two, I don't think I'll ever truly be mainstream. But if and when that day happens, I'll be sure to leave you some tickets at I don't know, Barclays Center or MSG or something.
Oh, well, it's greatly appreciated. So I'll be there. I mean, I probably won't be able to bring streamers like I do at most places, but since it's banned from some places, but I'll always be there to support you. Like, hey, maybe you'll come back for episode 1000.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be able to be on your independent show. I would have to be on your
I know.
Mainstream show.
No, but see, you're number one husband, so it's like you're always welcome back on the Under the Rope series, so it wouldn't even matter anymore. So, like, I break the rule because you're number one, you're locked in. Sorry, guys, you're never going to get on there. So, it is what it is, but... Guys, thank you again so much for tuning in. Guys, thank you everything for 100 episodes. Like, seriously, it's been amazing. And at about 9 o'clock, a video is going to drop with clips of little funny parts that have happened through the 100 episodes and thank you messages from wrestlers and subs and friends and all that stuff. So check that out. But guys, again, so we're going to end this and stay safe, support independent wrestling, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good night.
Peace.